everybody, today we're going to go ahead and work on the area of trapezoids. So to get started, I would like you to copy and complete this warm-up. I want you to find the area of the yellow parallelogram. So go ahead and pause the video for a second, sketch it, and find the area, and when you're ready, hit start, and we'll go over the answer. Okay, so for today, we're going to go ahead and start with going over that warm-up, which we'll get to in 1 second. Then we're going to take our notes on section 8.2, which is finding the area of a trapezoid. We're going to go ahead and do a practice worksheet when we're done with our notes so we can get some practice in. And then your homework is a couple problems on Math Excel section 8.2. So let's go ahead and go over this warm-up. So if you remember from yesterday, our formula that we learned was area is equal to base times height. So we need to look at this shape and figure out which one is our base and our height. We have 3 numbers here. So our 5 is our base, our 4 is our height. If you remember from yesterday, we talk about the base being the sides that's connected with the height. So because the 4 inches is connecting, in this case, the top and bottom, that 5 is the base. And the 4.5 we are not going to use this time. So it's just extra information. So we're going to go ahead and plug in our area equals base times height as 5 times 4, which gives us 20 square inches. So if you got 20 square inches, it's a great job. All right, so moving on for notes today. The first thing we're going to talk about is remembering what a trapezoid is. So a trapezoid, if you remember from earlier in the year, is a quadrilateral, which means it has 4 sides with exactly 1 pair of parallel sides. So oftentimes we see a trapezoid that looks kind of like this. It looks like a little step. It's flat on top and bottom and has slanted sides. That's pretty much the basic way that you see a trapezoid. But you have to remember that they can also be flipped upside down and sometimes they can be turned sideways. But what the key is that they have parallel sides, only 1 set. Those are regular kind of everyday ones. Every once in a while we'll be seeing things like this where the sides are clearly not the same. And then we'll have a right trapezoid as well, where we have right angles included. So the key again is to make sure you look for that single set of parallel sides. So to find the area of a trapezoid, just like when we did parallelograms, we have to identify our base and our height. And in this case, with trapezoids, we have base 1 and base 2, because there's the top and the bottom, or the left and the right. So our formula for the area of a trapezoid is 1/2 times the height times the sum of the bases. So we're going to add base 1 plus base 2, multiply it times height, and then multiply by 1/2. So the key part is being able to decide where the bases are and the heights. So the bases in a trapezoid are those parallel sides. So the definition says we need 1 set of parallel sides. Those are the bases. It doesn't matter which one you use as base 1 and base 2 because we're adding them. So we're fine either way. And then our height is the perpendicular distance between those 2 bases. So we want to make sure that we are going at a right angle when we connect those bases. So let's go ahead and do an example. So we have this trapezoid. It's just kind of a normal trapezoid, nothing particularly exciting about it. It has bases of 21 inches and 38 inches. And I know those are the bases because that's the 2 that the height is connecting. And our height is 16 inches. So we have our formula area is 1/2 height times the sum of the bases. And we have our bases 1 and 2. And then our height is 16. So we're going to go ahead and plug them into our formula. And we're going to have 1/2 times 16 times the sum of 21 plus 38, which is 1/2 times 16 times 59, which gives us 472. And because we're working in area, we have to make sure to remember to put in our units, and area is units squared. So we have 472 inches squared, or square inches, for this particular trapezoid. Okay, I want you to go ahead and try one on your own. Okay, so we're going to have you try this one on your own. So this trapezoid looks a little bit different. It's oriented in a different way, so see if you can figure out how to complete this area. So take a second, pause the video, draw the shape, try to find the area, and then when you're ready, hit play and we'll go over the answer. Okay, so if you noticed, this trapezoid looks like it has been spun sideways. So it's not the straightforward ones that we did in the last example. So we realize that the formula still works the same, but it's just identifying the bases is what's a little bit different. So we're still going to use the same formula. Area is equal to half times the height times the sum of the bases. So the very first thing we need to do is identify those bases. We need to make sure we know which numbers are which. And in this case, our bases are the 18 and the 6. And the way I know the bases are 18 and 6 is because those are the two they're connecting with the height. So the height is really what's helping us determine that. So that 9 foot, that's our height. That's connecting the 18 and the 6. So the 18 and the 6 are the bases. Again, it doesn't matter if we do 18 plus 6 or 6 plus 18 because it comes out the same either way. So don't get bogged down on deciding which one is base 1 and base 2. So we have our base 1, base 2 is 18 plus 6. Our height is 9, and we multiply that times a half. And when we get that, we get a half times 9 times 24. Multiplied all the way out, we get 108 square feet. Okay, that's it for this lesson today. I'm going to go ahead and hand out your worksheet. If you're watching this on your own, then you will get it off of our Moodle page. Complete the worksheet for classwork. And then there's 3 problems in Math Excel 8.2 for homework that I would like you to complete. Thank you so much.